What's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out the channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about how the Titans absolutely got after the Bengals, even though I know they fell short. They really got after the Bengals this past weekend, sacking Joe Burrow 9 times, and wanted to dive into really the two main ways they were able to get that accomplished. One, which was, that they won their one-on-one matchups up front as a defensive line, especially this guy, Jeff Simmons. And number two, their coaching staff did a really good job with some of the pressure looks that they were able to bring, allowing the Titans defensive line to really be able to outnumber the Bengals offensive line at the point of attack through the use of stunts and then also just using some pressures to really overload the protection as well. So we're going to dive into both those things. So, and with that being said, let's hop right to it. So first play, we're going to be focused on 98 here. And I just need us to really focus on what's going to happen here. Because as we see, he is ejecting a person out of his body almost. Again, just really textbook technique here by Jeff Simmons, and a great recognition of the set he's getting and taking advantage of it from the offensive lineman. And I say that because if you look at 77's base here, it's really wide. His hands are up by Jeff Simmons' head. So again, he's not in a very strong position here, right? So he's made himself susceptible to bull rush and power rushes. And 98 does a great job of recognizing that, using great technique, okay, with low pad level, great inside hand, great knee drive, damn near knee and 77 in the nuts. And you see that, and what happens? Combine, because when you do those things and combine it with his freakish strength and athleticism, this is what happens. He put my man 77 on skates. And again, 77 is a big, grown, huge person, and what my man does to him. So again, great combination of not only talent, but great technique and great job of understanding the set he's getting and taking what the offensive lineman's giving him. Here, it's going to be another great job by Simmons. So what we're going to get now from the offensive lineman is we're going to get an overset here, right? So one of the reasons and so let me back up. Simmons is already winning this rep pre-snap, and I say that because if you look at his alignment, you'll notice that he's damn near a heavy 5 shade on the offensive tackle, right? So he's in space right now. He's forcing this offensive lineman to work in space, which they don't want to do. What offensive linemen want is for you to line up foot to foot, so at the snap of the ball, they can get their hands on you, because they know 9 times out of 10, if they can get their hands on you, they're going to win, right? So when you eliminate that possibility from the beginning of even before the play is snapped, right? You're now forcing this guy to make a decision and making him uncomfortable doing stuff that he doesn't want to do, right? Because now he has to work in space and figure out, all right, well, now am I going to go out to get him? Am I going to wait for him to come to me? Am I going to try to deep set him? What am I going to do? So now you're getting him to be uncomfortable even before the ball snap with his alignment. So great job here by that. And then, all right, so what is 77's decision? All right, I'm going to try to go out and get him. So I'm going to try to overset him and jump set him. All right, so what Simmons is taught, at least I would imagine is taught, because I know that's how I taught my guys when I was at San Diego State, is that when you get the overset here, is it easier to go through him, around him, or where he was inside? And 9 times out of 10, everybody can see, watching this video, can see how big this green grass is. It's always easier to go where he was, especially because his momentum is carrying him out. So what should you do? You should club him by and keep his momentum going out that way. You want to help him keep going to where he wants to go. So Simmons does that, clubs, rips, and does a really good job on the rip, right? So as you can see, he's turned, his hips are parallel to the line of scrimmage. You want him to get him perpendicular. So how do you do that? By 1, really trying to throw that rip up sky high, but 2, getting that off arm involved with the lift. As you're going to see here, Simmons starts to work his right arm with the lift, and look what that does to his hips. It's getting back square to the quarterback and perpendicular to the line of scrimmage. And now he's got all his power going to where he wants to go, which is to the QB. And because of that, he's able to power through that block and get the sack on Burrow. Again, a great job, great recognition of the set he was getting, and great job using his technique to make the play. Great job by him. Again, now on this clip, we're going to be focusing on number 95, D'Amato Pico. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And then Harold Landry. So here, again, it's going to be another situation where they do a great job of recognizing the set they're getting and just taking what the offensive lineman gives them. So here, ball snapped. We're going to get another overset by the offensive center. Again, Pico doesn't recognize it immediately, but he eventually does and works that shoulder to go to that open green grass with the club arm over. And then here with 58 on the approach, he's going to recognize he gets the deep set by Jonah Williams. Again, look at this technique here. Again, this is what you want as a defensive lineman, as a coach. Again, helmet under his chin, hands inside, good position to drive, good power position here. And then here on contact, Landry feels the soft shoulder inside and takes advantage of it, shrugging Williams by to come under and get the sack. So again, we'll look at this in full speed. Great job by these guys to make the play here. Great job by those two. And then here, get into the pressures. Even though we're going to see right here, this linebacker is going to blitz right in this B gap with the 3-technique spike in here. And what they're trying to do is isolate this guy on the running back. What you're going to see here is Mixon actually does a really good job blocking him across Burrow's face, but it still makes Burrow uncomfortable getting this pressure in what ends up being really kind of it's the B gap, but it ends up really kind of being the new A gap here. But the guy who does a really good job, again, winning his one-on-one here is Danico Autry. Again, sell speed up front. Jonah Williams is setting high, oversetting high a little bit. Autry recognizes that, recognizes the weak inside shoulder, comes inside, gets the sack. Again, great job by these guys. All right. So now here, probably my second favorite call from this game is what I call drill check. We had this when I was a GA at the University of Michigan, right? So this is an empty check that tells you to line up 6 across, double mug A gap. And so what it tells you is that both defensive ends are blitzing. They're rushing, right? Because when you line up in this front versus empty, this forces the offensive line to protect basically two ways. They either got a full slide to the defensive right or they got a full slide to the defensive left. That's their only option. And when they do that, they're going to cut one of these guys loose because, again, there's too many guys for them to block, right? So we know that as a defense. So we're blitzing or we're bringing both these guys because one of them is going to come free. And then the inside 4 guys are going to be taught that if you're blocked by anybody, you're just going to drop off and try to take underneath coverage. Right? So it's a way for you to really be able to rush 2 and drop 9 as a defense, which is awesome. And still be able to get one guy free here, as you see with Landry. Even though he's not able to make the play, he sets it up for Dupree. And again, just really great execution and really great call here by the Titans defensive staff. All right, and then on this next one, this is going to be a 3-man fork look to this side out of the overload front by these guys. So what that means is that you're going to get an A-gap penetrator, a B-gap penetrator, and then you're going to get Bud Dupree wrapping around to the opposite A-gap. So really what you're trying to get is a 3-on-2, these 3D linemen on these 2 offensive linemen with this guy basically out of the picture if this guy does his job right, which we're actually going to see here is going to be the case. So here, ball snapped. He's penetrating up. He's penetrating up in the B gap, trying to climb the tackle's back, which he does, right? So now this guy's out of the picture. And and this guy being the offensive tackle, he basically can't block anybody now. So now you get 1, 2, 3 on 1, 2. And so now the guard's going to be sticking with him, right? Because the tackle can't do his job. So now this really leaves this guy 2-on-1 on these two, right? Which screws the center, right? Because he's screwed no matter what he does. He stays with Simmons. Dupree is free. If he comes off on Dupree, Simmons is free. And we're going to see that he chooses to get off on Dupree, which again allows Simmons to come scot-free and get his, I believe, one of his 3 sacks on the day. So again, look at this full speed. Just great execution, great stunt call, and great job by those guys on the overload side. And then finally, my favorite call of the day, and what I'm calling Titan, because I have not seen this since I had not seen this before they ran this by anybody else. So this call is going to be, again, out of this overload front. And what makes this call great is that it gives the presentation of just a 3-man stunt on the inside, which I call palms. This guy penetrating here in the A-gap, this D-tackle penetrating here in this A-gap, with the off linebacker wrapping around into this B-gap. And while it's going to end up looking like that presentation, and it's going to end up with this guy coming A, this guy wrapping B, this guy's going to cross face, Simmons is going to cross face into the opposite A, and then he's going to run an ear stunt on this side with the defensive end pinching inside B and him wrapping outside for contain. And as you can see here, this is a really hard stunt for the offensive line to be able to pass off in this protection, because they're going to block this, I think, 4-by-1. So they're going to slide this way with these 4 guys and lock Jonah Williams on in man. So what you're going to see here is on the ear side. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. They're actually going to end up going man protection, which is, again, even better if you're a defensive guy. 67, you're going to see here, is tracking the linebacker, right? So a linebacker is acting like he's going to blitz up, then crosses all the way across the formation, which brings 67 down to Simmons. He thinks, all right, that's my wrapper that I'm going to be in charge of in this stunt. And then what happens? The defensive end comes and blows his hip up right now, which then now leaves Simmons free, who does a great job wrapping, staying tight, and getting vertical. So again, they're getting the 2-on-1 on Jonah Williams, who's probably the Bengals' best offensive lineman, right? And so he's screwed no matter what he does. If he stays with DN, Simmons is free. If he comes off, he's free, because there's no way this guy's blocking him in this position. And then here on what ends up being the tech side, you're going to get a great job on the penetration here by Nico Autry, and getting and really wasting these 2 guys, because the way he does his penetration, he hits it so well, 77 has to turn his hips, and as soon as 77 turns his hips, there's no way he's going to be able to pass off the stunt and get back around for the linebacker who's coming. So great execution on both sides, and just a really great call, really dirty, filthy call by these guys to get the sack. Awesome, awesome, awesome call. So again, I appreciate you guys for checking out the channel. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know if you like it. I'll try to do some more. And again, appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.